on. Now, ever since the Union Budget 2018 was announced, there's been an observation here that Indian stock markets have fallen dramatically. Sensex, which is down almost 3,000 points, with the Nifty having fallen around 1,000 points. Now, there are several reasons why the markets have continued to fall. Investors have seen crores of wealth being eroded. Our correspondent Avni Raja is to get us more details, the reasons for this continuous fall ever since the Union Budget's announcement. Getting in more of those details, Avni, help us understand what's really happening here.
Well, like you pointed out, since the 1st of February, that is when the Union Budget was announced, both the Nifty and the Sensex have fallen quite dramatically. The Sensex has fallen almost 3,000 points, while the Nifty about 1,000 points. And the number 12 lakh crore is as much as the what investors have really lost in this entire time frame. Now, like you pointed out, there are several reasons for this entire fall, both on the domestic front and on the global front as well. One of the biggest reasons for this is the introduction of the long-term capital gains tax that we saw in Budget 2018, or 10%. And that is something that has impacted every single investor, whether in the direct stocks or in equity mutual funds. All the retail investors all have been affected with this introduction of tax, and that has also dampened sentiment in the entire market as well. The other point also is, of course, the entire Punjab National Bank and Nirav Modi fraud, which was uncovered recently. That has also entirely dampened the market sentiment, and we saw the public sector banks, that entire segment of stocks, being hit because of this. That is the other reason. And also this kind of opened a sort of Pandora's box, raising questions as far as the security of banks are concerned, as far as investor money is concerned. These kind of questions did come up for retail investors as well. And of course, you have the political factors that have come into play of late, which is the TDP's exit, as well as the government's first no trust vote, which they are facing. So these are a couple of the most important local reasons why this has happened, domestic reasons. The global front also, there are several reasons. One of them, which there's a data breach that really came to light when in Facebook, and that caused the Facebook stock to come down heavily. And of course, when that happens, both the US markets also fall, and that also has an impact on the Indian markets. These are the various reasons why the markets have been falling since the 1st of Feb. But the important thing, a quick word on what investors should do at this point, is not to panic, and that is really the most important thing. So even if you have lost money, there's no reason to panic at this point. Remain invested, especially when it comes to your equity investments, because if you have a long-term goal, this kind of volatility is not going to impact your investments. So don't panic and remain invested and focus on your financial goals. Back to you.
Okay, that's of course an assuring word that you're sending out to the investors here. But as far as government sending out an assurance, because there are about 500 companies that have fallen more than 25% from their peak. That's a huge fall that we're looking at in the past month, ever since the announcement of the Union Budget. But these are developments that you've made a note of as far as the PNB scam there goes. Avni, should there be a word in from the government as an assurance that banks are stable, banks are safe, there's no need to worry at this given point of time?
Well, absolutely, sir. As far as the volatility is concerned, well, that's something that happens quite often, so there's nothing on that particularly. But with respect to the banks, we have seen several measures being taken by both the Finance Ministry and the RBI, and also to ensure that this kind of a fraud does not happen again. So there have been some strong steps that have been taken by the Reserve Bank there. Also that is also an effort to assure people and citizens that their money is safe, and that's also important to mention time and again, because these kind of frauds have absolutely no bearing on your money which is in the banks, that is your deposits or whatever else fixed deposits that you have in the bank, your savings. It has absolutely no bearing, because all public sector banks are backed by the government. So in case there is any issue like that, the government will ensure that your money is safe and that you will get it back.
All right, Avni, many thanks for getting us those inputs. Without doubt, coming in on a very assuring note of what you've specified and reiterated as far as investors are concerned there.